Hi everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. So in my lecture series, we already discussed about the function, and along with the real world example, we have seen what is the definition of function, what is the major use, how the function can be classified. Because initially, before watching this video, please watch my previous video so that we can able to understand this particular concept very much easier. So we know the definition of function. Function is nothing but it contains a set of functions or a set of block of codes that can be executed independently. Whenever we need, we can able to call it many types. So normally a function can have two parts. One is a header part, another one is a body of the function. So the first line can be called it as a header part. So before entering into the thing, first we're going to see the definition. So we know the theoretical way of how we can define a function. So according to the C program, how we can define a function means a function must contain a return type. So return type, either it may return a value or it does not return a value. If you want to return a value, either it can return it any data type. It may be a character return, it may be integer return, it can be a double return, or it can be a float return. Based on the user needs, we can able to return a value. If you put void, we know void does not return any value. So in this case, this particular function does not return any value. So next thing is we have to give a function name. So function name is a user defined name. In similar, how we can define a variable. Similar way, you can define a function name. Inside the function, inside the parenthesis, if a thing can contain a parenthesis, that can be called it as a function. So in here, we have the parameter list. That is what type of a parameter we are passing inside this function, that we have to mention that particular list. Either we can pass integer value, we can pass float value, we can pass character value, or any other thing, that we have to mention it under the parameter list. After defining the thing, we have to give, as per our definition, we have to be, it will be started with the curly, started and ended with the curly braces. Inside the curly braces only, we have the declaration and the body of the statement. The declaration may have two types. Either we can able to declare it in a local or it is a global. Global means we have to define in the inside before the main function, that can be called it as a global declaration. Inside the main, we can call it as the local declaration. This is the how we can define the function in a C language. So in our C language, a definition, that is a definition. What is the syntax of the function? So the syntax of the function can be classified into three types. One is a declaration, definition, and call. So inside the function declaration, how we can declare the thing, we're going to see it over here. Function declaration, how we can declare a function. So either we can declare inside the main or we can declare outside the main. This is very much similar to declaring a variable. So here, what type of a return type we have to return to the user, that we have to mention it over here. And also we have to give the name of the function. And also whatever the parameter you're passing, that we have to give. Definitely it will be terminated with the terminated symbol, because it is only a declaration. So declaration is always terminated as that particular line itself. So we can able to declare either local or a global. That is based on the programmer or a user. Now let us see the example for that one. See here, int. Int is my return type. Sum is my function name. Here int is my parameter type. And this is the parameter name. A is my parameter name. Int is here. It is a parameter type. B is my parameter name. It always ends with the semicolon. This is how the function can be declared in our C language. So here it can be declared either before main or we have to use inside the main. That is a global and local declaration. Here it is a return type. So here A is a integer value, B is a integer value, and after performing an operation, the return value also an integer it shows. This is how the function declared in our C language. Next, we can go for a definition part. In your definition part, declaration. So that is there we're going to receive the actual value. We have to pass it over here. That actual value here, it can be converted into a formal parameter. So inside the function, inside the definition part, we have to give a return type. So my function name, whatever the actual parameter passed over here, that can be converted here as a formal parameter. So inside the thing, we have to define the body of the function. So this is the function definition. A function definition must have a return type, must have a function name, must have an operation, must have a parameter. So the next thing is the example for the function definition. For example, here int heading. Here I have parameter argument is void. Void means it does not return any value. So inside the curly braces, here I doesn't have no semicolon because a function definition does not terminated the line itself. If it is terminated means inside the function it cannot execute anything. So we should not put the semicolon, should not put semicolon. So inside the curly braces you can give the some statement. If you want to return a value, you have written a value. Here I have mentioned it is a void, so I have written 0 because void does not return any value. But here I have to give the return type as an integer. So definitely it will return some integer value. So here itself I doesn't return any value. So I have to give return 0 to my function. So int is my return type. Heading is my function name. Parameter argument I have followed the void. So this is a header section. This is the body section. So initially the previous first slide I have teached about the function definition. So it will have a two parts. One is a header part, another one is the body part. So this is how. The next we're going to see about the function call. How it can call the particular function. We know that this is a definition. Is it right? This is a definition. This is the declaration. This is a definition. This one is a declaration. This is a simple example to perform a sum of two numbers. So while a compiler executor starting with the main function, it will get inside the thing, it will call the add variable equal to sum of. Sum is my function calling. Inside the calling, I have to pass the two arguments, 10 and 30. This is my actual argument. So by using a function call, it moved to my function definition part. In the definition part, A value can assign the value 10, B value can assign the 30 as a formal arguments. So it will, as after assigning the thing, it will get inside the thing, it will go to and perform A plus B. So 10 plus A contain 10, B contain 30. So it both will be added and 10 plus 30 is 40. So the 40 value is returning to the main function. It will be stored in the variable add. Now add can contain the 40 value. So that will be printed over here. Here it will return as 0 because here I am mentioning it is a int. If you are mentioning is a void, you does not need to give a 0. So this is how a function call will be works and the actual program can be executed by the compiler. Once again, I am repeating, it will be started from the main function. After that, the particular function is called. A function definition is executed. After executing the function definition, it will return the value to the where it could be calling. That for that particular position, the return value can be returned to that. After that, it will be displayed over here. So in my next video, we're going to see about the in-depth about the function. What are the different calling function, everything we're going to see it in my next video.